Jody, the Cardinals win a football game last Sunday. We know that, of course, by now. 20-13 was the final over the Saints. Cardinals 1-0 for the first time since 2021. Now, you look at the offense. Kyler Murray's numbers, not bad, not great. 21 for 29, 163 yards, couple of touchdowns. He was sacked 5 times in the game. Marvin Harrison Jr., impactful at that wide receiver slot, 71 receiving yards, 5 catches, the 1 touchdown. McBride and Tip Ryman, by the way, combined for 71 receiving yards as well. But for the Cardinals, not much outside receiving-wise of McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. Drew Petzing's a guy, Sammy said it the other day, in terms of and you kind of alluded to this. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is the scheme and the game plan kind of dictating not so gaudy numbers out of the offense? Do you want to talk about that a little bit, Sammy?
Yeah, no, I feel like even last year, we talked about how this team looks very similar to what it did last year, and I think it starts with how the offense looks. You want to establish the run. You have James Conner. You have what's supposed to be this real good offensive line when it comes to the run game. But when it comes to Kyler, the scheme, and I don't know if it's the plays that Petzing's calling and guys just aren't as open, or if Kyler's not, he's wanting Kyler to be a little more, quote, boring and just take what's there to him. But the lack of deep shots, the lack of explosive plays that we heard all offseason about that we want to see from Kyler. We want to see the off script. We want to see the ball going downfield. And I know it's a small sample size in game 1, but it looked a lot like 2024 of this dink and dunk. Guys aren't open. Kyler is kind of running for his life back there. And I'm not one to put it all on one person or one coach, but maybe it is the plays that Petzing's calling that could be limiting in this, quote, explosion of Kyler Murray.
Well, there's a couple ways to look at it. Obviously,
I feel like we complained a lot about dinking and dunking with Cliff Kingsbury, too. It might be Kyler.
Cliff Screensbury.
Right.
Remember those days?
Sifting this all out because the quarterback is the thread there. Yeah, but he did. You know what's interesting? I didn't realize, because we know that Harrison and McBride were the 2 main targets, and that was true. But he did hit 9 total targets the other day. It's just that a bunch of them were like 1 catch for 3 yards. Like Trey Benson, 1 catch for 6. Michael Wilson, 1 catch for 5. Zay Jones, 1 for 4. Higgins, 1 for 4. Yeah, I do. That's why it was so cool to see the 45-yard reception, because they don't do it very often.
And they had the opportunity to obviously hit a 97-yard touchdown late in the game. Kyler overshooting Marvin Harrison Jr. Kurt Warner, by the way, blamed Marvin Harrison Jr. On that particular play for not running the right angle at the end of his route.
Yeah, he went on, and he does this a lot if you follow Kurt, right? He was a quarterback. His son is a quarterback. He watches quarterbacks on film all week long. And he was talking about just how you can't anticipate what a receiver, how he might get derailed from his route. Is he going to, so, but that, again, that's something that happens all the time. So you have to figure that out, because, Kurt was so good that he found the open man consistently, and he was able to do that. So, but, I think it's a little different when we're talking about Kyler.
The Cardinals dropped back to pass the football a lot in the opening quarter, and the protection was pretty good. And it looked like, Sammy, when we try to figure out maybe what could be going on here, and none of us are football coaches, so I think I feel the need to say that first. But I've seen enough football to know that Kyler couldn't find anybody open.
Yes.
So let's just assume nobody was open. And they ended up getting technically sacked 3 times in the first quarter, and a couple of those were Kyler just running out of bounds, right, because he didn't want to take a traditional sack, and he couldn't find anybody to throw the football to down the field. So it's not like Drew Petzing was just running the ball up the middle or throwing a bunch of screens. They were looking to throw the ball downfield early in that game, and there was nobody there. Michael Wilson, they threw a couple of sideline fades to him. He's not open. I'm starting to wonder if he's ever open. 1 catch for 5 yards for the number 2 wide receiver in that opener. They got to figure that out. They have to figure that out, how to either unlock him. It's too late to go out and find somebody. Yeah. But they got to figure that out. They need more out of Michael Wilson.
And maybe it's just getting him easy receptions in the game that can kind of get him going. We saw it late in the game with a slant on 3rd and 9 to Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, if that's going to be available throughout the game, I'm all for Marvin Harrison 14-plus targets,
Of course.
10 receptions.
And that's
just
what it
getting
might
him,
be.
And I'm okay with that, but
I mean, remember the Rams game last
Yes.
year where it's like, okay, we got to figure out how to get it, and it was the crossing routes,
You
right?
gotta
It was
have another. You
crossing.
gotta have another threat. I mean,
You do.
defensive coordinators are too good. If you're just going out there throwing it to Marvin Harrison 15 times, that's fine. But I mean, you don't think they're going to take that away?
Right.
I
Ultimately,
mean, is
if
Trey
no-
McBride good enough
Trey-
that even though he's a tight end, he's your number 2 receiver
Yes,
and gives you enough of a
absolutely.
threat,
yes,
though?
and you can maybe
Just-
win some games against bad teams
Right,
by
right,
7. I mean, if we want to get to where we want to go in this town, and I'm talking about not only making the playoffs but winning in the playoffs. I mean, and in complicating the lack of production out of the number 2 receiver, you're not getting it out of the number 3 or 4 guy
Yeah,
either.
you're exactly right. And that might be enough to beat bad teams like Carolina, for example, this weekend. And don't miss your last chance to win tickets to the Cardinals home opener this Sunday. Just head to the Arizona Sports YouTube page, watch us live, and click the contest link pinned in the chat. It's that easy. Tune in, click, and you could be at the game. And you should be watching us live on YouTube anyway, all show long.
You should be. Jody's got her makeup on. She's ready. She's TV ready.
I put some lipstick on.
She's looking
Tim, you guys
something.
have such a nice background. Like you know,
I
Tim
get
has
th-
some.
I know he's got helmets. He's got a
Helmet,
TV
I
I
screen.
just have light switches.
You have the light switch.
Dan's hair usually takes up most of the screen. That's why.
I will say the lighting in here, it's a studio built for radio.
We're TV people.
We're TV
Tim.
people. This lighting's garbage.
You do look quite ghoulish.
It makes me look pasty.
Pasty gangsta.
I'm gonna have to start wearing some makeup. Where's my TV makeup?
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.